There are matches that are played for 90 minutes and then slowly fade from memory. And there are others that begin long before the opening whistle, carrying decades of history and seemingly destined to become an unforgettable chapter in soccer. Argentina versus England unquestionably belongs to that second category. The World Cup semifinal needs little introduction. On one side will be the reigning champion, a team that has learned to live with pressure, rise again in the most difficult moments, and keep competing even when the match seems to be slipping out of its hands. On the other will be an England side filled with stars, with Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham enjoying an extraordinary tournament, and with the feeling that this generation is facing one of its greatest opportunities to end a wait that has already lasted 6 decades. But beyond the formations and the history, there is one image commanding much of the world's attention. Lionel Messi will face England for the first time in an Argentina jersey. After a career in which he has played against practically every major soccer power, Messi enters this matchup at 39 years old, still serving as Argentina's center of gravity and forcing opponents to change their plans. England knows it. Harry Kane knows it too. And although the English captain tried to reduce the individual attention surrounding the number 10, his own words confirmed the magnitude of the challenge. Kane acknowledged that it is incredible that Messi has remained at the top for so long without ever facing England. He described it as a unique occasion and highlighted Messi's consistency for nearly 20 years. However, he also issued a warning to his teammates. The match is against Argentina, not Lionel Messi. The statement can be interpreted as a way of preventing England from becoming obsessed with chasing Messi all over the field. But it also contains an important acknowledgement. Argentina is no longer the team that waited for its captain to solve absolutely everything. Messi remains its most special player, its leader, and the figure capable of changing a semifinal with a single action. But around him, there is now a competitive structure that knows how to protect him and respond when the match demands something different. Kane described Argentina as a strong unit, a true team, and a side filled with great players. The English striker understands that focusing exclusively on Messi could be a trap. If England pushes too many players forward to surround him, it could open spaces for Julian Alvarez. If it decides to close down the middle, it could allow the fullbacks to advance. If it tries to cut off every passing lane toward the captain, it could give Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, or Rodrigo de Paul a more prominent role. And if the match becomes emotional, physical, and chaotic, Argentina knows how to operate in that territory better than almost any other national team. England arrives with power, youth, and individual depth. It has players accustomed to major nights in the Premier League, the Champions League, and the biggest stages in European soccer. Kane and Bellingham have scored 12 of England's 13 goals at this World Cup. They are two players capable of deciding a match even when their team is not in control. They are joined by Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke, Declan Rice, and Jordan Pickford. It would be absurd to underestimate England. Argentina will be facing its most complete opponent of the tournament. However, respecting the opponent does not mean handing it the spotlight before the match begins. Argentina has reasons to believe it arrives as the reigning champion after coming through difficult matches without losing its composure, and with a Messi who is not taking part in this World Cup as a ceremonial figure, but as one of the competition's most decisive players. The English look at him with a mixture of admiration and concern. Jordan Pickford admitted that it will be special to face him after having watched him since childhood. The goalkeeper highlighted everything Messi has achieved throughout his career, although he immediately clarified, "We cannot talk only about Messi." He then added that Argentina is a great team and reminded everyone that it is the reigning champion. England's insistence on repeating that Argentina is much more than Messi is no coincidence. It is the result of what this national team has built over the past several years. For a long time, opponents believed that neutralizing Leo meant neutralizing the entire team. Today, they know that La Albiceleste can find other answers. It can win through possession, pressing, a quick transition, a set piece, or sheer character. Of course, Messi is still Messi. He can walk for several seconds, seemingly drift away from the play, and appear disconnected. But in reality, he is reading the game. He watches which defender abandons his position, where the space appears, and exactly when to accelerate. England will need to maintain near-perfect concentration because a single mistake can become an impossible pass, a dangerous free kick, or a finish that changes history. But England is confident too. Noni Maduka said he felt very confident and claimed that the other teams will be more worried about us. Bukayo Saka echoed that idea by pointing out that England has many players capable of producing a moment of magic. It is not a direct provocation toward Argentina. It is the logical message of a team that has reached a semifinal and feels capable of defeating anyone. But it also serves as fuel for an Argentina side that has historically felt comfortable when it senses that its opponent arrives convinced of its physical or individual superiority. Argentina does not need to respond at the microphones. Its response must come on the field. Lionel Scaloni's team will have to defend better than it did during certain stretches of previous matches, avoid unnecessary turnovers, and pay special attention to Bellingham's runs. The English midfielder has become a constant threat inside the penalty area. He attacks spaces, arrives from deep, and possesses an enormous competitive personality. Kane, meanwhile, is not only capable of finishing chances, he also drops back, takes part in the build-up, and opens spaces for players arriving from the second line. The battle in midfield will be decisive. England will try to impose intensity and take advantage of its athletic ability. Argentina will look to slow the match down, move the ball intelligently, and force its opponent to chase. In that duel, DePaul, Enzo, and McAllister will need to maintain the balance while also finding Messi in positions where he can turn and attack facing the goal. It will be a match in which every detail carries enormous weight. A deflection, a card, a set piece, or a poor attempt to play out from the back could determine who reaches the final. Pickford even acknowledged that England is prepared for every scenario: 90 minutes, extra time, or penalties. That statement shows that the English expect a long battle, and Argentina knows long battles perfectly well. This national team built its identity by learning how to suffer without feeling defeated. It does not always play well. It does not always control the match. At times, it gives away too much and forces its supporters to endure endless minutes of tension. But it almost never gives up on a game. It keeps competing, pushing, and believing. That mentality is one of its greatest weapons. History will also be present. Maradona's goal with his hand, his masterpiece, Beckham's red card, and the penalty shootout are all part of a rivalry that goes beyond the current protagonists. But this match will have an identity of its own. It will no longer be Maradona against Lineker or Beckham against Simeone. It will be Messi against Kane. It will be Bellingham trying to impose the future against the player who dominated an era. It will be England trying to end a 60-year wait and Argentina attempting to defend its crown and reach another World Cup final. Harry Kane said that England is knocking on the door. That is true. This generation has reached semifinals and finals and has come close to the title several times. But knocking on the door does not mean having walked through it. To do that, England will have to overcome the world champion and the player who turned impossible stages into his favorite territory. Argentina is not invincible. It has weaknesses and will need to improve. But it arrives with the conviction of a group that already knows what it means to win together. And it arrives with Messi, still performing at the highest level and still capable of turning a semifinal into a new chapter in his history. England has reasons to be confident. Argentina does too. The difference will begin to be written when the ball starts rolling. That is when the statements will end, the predictions will disappear, and only 11 against 11 will remain. And although Kane is right to say that England will face all of Argentina and not only Messi, he also knows that there are matches in which a single player can change everything. For nearly 20 years, Lionel Messi has proven that he is that player. Now he will have England in front of him for the first time, with a World Cup final within reach. Argentina will need to play with intelligence, character, and humility. It will have to respect an extraordinary opponent without giving in to fear. This national team has already endured too many difficult nights to feel small on this stage. The semifinal is set. England arrives with stars, confidence, and hunger. Argentina arrives with history, resilience, and a captain who is still chasing the impossible. And when Messi steps onto a field believing that he can write another eternal chapter, an entire country believes with him once again.